All right, so what we got here is we got some more 12 gauge sheet metal, just flat sheet metal, and I'm gonna make a top for my piece up here that I'm working on, and it weren't quite wide enough one piece, so I had to kind of tack it back together, and I need it to bend in the middle anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these pieces here off. I'm gonna lighten it up some, where I can make it more manageable for me to be able to hold it and move it. It won't be perfect where I need it at, but it will be, more manageable than just holding up all this excess heavy weight. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut them off, and then we'll come back. What I'm gonna do is just knock some of that sharp stuff off of it, where it's touching. This ain't the finished product right here. I gonna have to cut it some more, but what we're trying to do is just prevent a problem before it happens. That's a step, so I cut the back of it too yesterday. Knock that off. So this right here is a little old cheap grinder. A Bowyer grinder came from Harbor Freight. I never would have thought it would have lasted as long as it has, but this thing here has got some hours on it. I figured, but when I bought it, I'd use it to do the little project I was needing, and by the end of the project, that it would probably be tore up, and I'd be, got my money's worth out of it. But that little something gun there has surprised me because it's run a whole heck of a lot longer than those no name brand tools normally run. All right. All right, so I got where's my cutoff wheels I had over here. I got another little cut I got to make in the back of this thing because I want to kind of make the top of it have a dip in it. So I don't just want it running on a straight angle up. I want to run up. Now I want to get about 8 inches from the back, and I want the hood to kind of have a little kind of bow in it. So I need to make a little cut in the back of that metal. What I want to do is slice it about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way in half. Not all the way in half, but I want to cut it about 3/4 in half. I didn't know I had that gun in my pocket. All right, so what I got here is I just gonna make me a little slit in the metal so I can bend it. I don't want to cut it all the way in half. I just want it to be able to be weak. I'm gonna make the metal weak so I can put a little pressure on it and make it bend a little bit. So what I need to do here is this here got a little warped up on me yesterday. Um, I shouldn't have put as much heat on it trying to weld it without it being braced up. But that's sometimes you get in a hurry and that's what happens. But I'm gonna come here and I'm either gonna take that torch and heat it up here and let it push it back around, or I'm gonna make a slice in it and move it where I want it and just tack it back. So I think what I'm gonna do to start with is take the torch and just put a little heat on it and just try to push it around a little bit. Let me see your truck keys there. Yeah, you can record it. I don't want it to come apart, but I want to weaken it enough. I can actually bend it like that. See how it bends. You got a piece of sheet metal here. What we're going to do is I got it where I can bend it a little bit. I don't want it to be flat. So got to get it centered as much as I can and then mark it and then come out and cut it so I don't have a big gap in between where I need to be at. So what I need to do is get me a measurement where the center's at. And basically 21 and 8, 10 and 11, 16. Basically about hold that square. What you want to do, you can eyeball stuff, but you can never get it perfect. So we'll take the square, slide it over to the center point where I got it right on the center. And then we'll measure to the edge of the square, and that'll give me an exact mark. Instead of me trying to look up an inch and a half up there away from the tape. And That's about what I want, 10 and 11/16. I'm gonna tack it right here temporarily. I don't want to put much on it. I kind of want it to be up just a little bit off the center. That's only 22 and a half. These are just a little more. Sometimes it's good to have 3 hands. But you can't always have 3 hands. Looks good at the front, and what I'm going to do is I may try to tack it, and then it'd be hard to cut it from the inside, but it'd be harder to cut it from the top because I don't want to get a gap in there. So we may just cut it where it cuts through both pieces and then tack it. But it's got a little bow in it, so it ain't exactly. So we got what, 32 and 5/8 roughly. 32 and 5/8. So what did I say I wanted to do at the back? If I went from 21 and a quarter to basically 23, I went about 1 3/4 inches on the rise on it. So I got to make sure whatever I got it on the front, that's 21 1/4. That's basically 21 3/16. Then I went to 22 3/4. That's basically 1.5 inches I went up. So I want to keep it 1.5 inches back here. So if I'm 32, I need to be 33.5 in the center. And I need to be center weight. I'm 29. That looks like about 14. Actually, I ain't gonna bend it too much. So I need to be 30. What did I say? 32.5. I need to be 34 in the back. That right there is 34.5. That's close. So we'll come here and we'll do this. Yeah, I need to tie that thing up. We'll just tack it right here on the side. So we don't want to weld it too much in case we need to cut it loose. But we want it good enough where it ain't going to be moving. So, and then I got to bow that one down a little bit. So what I want to do here is I want to get back up on the top. I want to tack it a couple spots. Now I want to strengthen it back up. A while ago when I put it up here, I weakened it. And I weakened it for a reason, so I could bend it. But now that I got it bent where I want it, I want to strengthen it back up just a little bit. All right, now I got it pretty strong up here. I need to figure out the best way that I can cut it without cutting a big old gap in there. And it actually get a measurement. I could probably look up there and get a line and trace it. But I don't want a big gap, and the metal's got just a slight curvature in the middle, so it ain't like I can just run a straight line down through there, pop a line and cut it. I got to follow my metal so I can keep a certain amount of gap there. We're just gonna cut this off. Don't let me forget to turn that back on. I don't know if it's leaking, but I ain't got a whole lot of gas in there. I ain't trying to waste it. So let's do this for now. Let's take a marker, a red marker. Let's try to eyeball it where we need it. All right, let's see what we can do here. I'm just gonna come here and I'm gonna use my old eyeball just to try to get close to where I need to be at. And I'd rather be a little tight than too far. So I'll cut on the right side of that mark. And too, when you marking, when you cutting stuff, anytime you cutting something and you making a mark, you need to know which side of your mark you need to be cutting on. You just don't cut a mark and then roll right down the middle of it, because your stuff will come up short. You got to allow for whatever you're cutting with, the thickness of the blade. It makes a difference. So what I want to do is I want to cut on the right side of my mark. I actually want to leave the mark, some of it, and cut on the right side of it. We're just going to try a little piece here to start with. We ain't going to just cut it all and go with it. We're going to try a little piece at a time. We'll work it in until we got it all done. So it's not a race to try to cut it. We're just going to cut a little bit. We're going to tack it. We'll cut a little more, tack a little more. We'll do it that way. Yeah, it sucks getting older. I just sitting up here on this table. My dang leg felt like that woman on that movie. What was that movie we watched when they went to the private beach, and all of them was getting old real fast. That girl that went out there that was supposed to be the pretty one, how her arms and mess was breaking. While my dang leg felt like when I was standing there. It done that 2 or 3 times over the last little bit. I believe there's something going on with my dang leg. My hip. Here's where I may have to go ahead and cut this side over here because I need this to bend a little bit up here. And I ain't sure that I can get it to bend with this side here setting up so high. We'll try it. If we can't, we're gonna have to go ahead and cut on the other side some. Get it to bend like I want it. That's gonna be connecting it there. So if I cut a couple of them wheels right there loose, leave this piece independent, then it might roll up. Let's try it that way. So what I'm gonna do is get me another mark. Go ahead and cut that one all the way up, and then see if I can get it to twist down like I need it before I cut that other side. So I'm good there. Good there. Let's see what this side looks like. And I could easily cut through both sides at one time and weld it together, but I've only got a small amount of radius there, and I don't want to cut in my radius. The reason that I just don't go there and cut it fast any kind of way. So slow and steady. All right, so we got pretty close to what I'm looking for here. I think I want to take that off right there. So we'll go ahead and tack this up where we got it, where we need it at. All right, give me that helmet. when y'all out here cutting and welding with grinders and stuff, it's best to have pants on that ain't got holes in them, because it will burn you up. I got about 20 pair of these gray Dickie pants, and about 15 of them got holes in the leg right there where I took stuff in my pocket, knives or guns, little guns, whatever, and it digs in that corner right there, and it digs a hole in my pockets. So they ain't the same pair of pants. I got about 20 pair, and they all wore out because I'm working my stuff. All my stuff is wore out because I don't sit around in it, ride around and pick up truck. I actually get out, crawl around in the trucks, drag around, you know, I do all kind of physical work, so that's why my pants got holes in them. All right, let's cut it out. Alright, that's what we want. We ain't gonna weld on it no more today. We'll let that cool and start welding on it too much. Stand my ladder up there, it's gonna start creaking and popping and all kinds of stuff. We don't want that. down still pretty straight. And that's what we want. We got the dip in it up there like we want it. I do want to go back on the back though and tack that on the back. I wasn't messing with it. Come back here. I got to tack it up under the bottom. So up under here, keep my microphone back, cut it off. All right, so up under here, where we came and made it weak, we cut us a trench up under here on that piece of steel. We cut it almost in two, but we left just a little tad of metal there holding it, so I didn't have to do it in two pieces. So what I'm gonna do now is just come back and tack it up, just strengthen it up a little bit. So. Gas ain't coming out right. Woohoo! Something hot. You can always tell when that nozzle starts to get started up a little bit there. The gas won't flow like it needs to. All right, that's probably enough to tighten it up. And we'll probably go back up under the bottom here tomorrow sometime. We already got it hot up there. We'll go back and put us a couple more up under the bottom there to kind of strengthen it up some. Yep. And I may even put a little brace across there, being a little piece of flat metal, and just pop a little couple braces, kind of give it a little more strength. It's pretty strong. There ain't nobody gonna be standing on it or nothing, but we'll see. That's gonna do it for right now. We got something else we got to go do, and like by now I'll let you know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a hood mailbox.